Bush flying in North America is one of the last great adventures in aviation today. Far away from civilization, somewhere in the wilderness, being on your own, landing on never-seen-before small places, without navigation aids, except compass and GPS, performing in low-level contact flying is one of the challenges you'll not find so easy. Only few airplanes are suitable for this kind of flying. In first place is the Icon Super Cub. Such airplanes make it possible to operate in areas to enjoy the beauties and solitude of nature, which you normally only can achieve with more effortful and expensive helicopters. Flying so close to the nature, you cannot avoid coming in close contact with wild animals. It is not only funny to observe this walrus ruffian, or sitting 2 meters above these sleeping walruses. But it also gets incredibly thrilling having this about 3/4 ton heavy bear only 8 meters in front of you. In the lucky USA, you can choose out of hundreds of legal possible modifications for Cubs to get built your personal dream Cub. One of the most important modifications is naturally mounting the big balloon tires. In this video, I show you a small part of the possibilities of a Cub, which would end in a catastrophe if performed with other airplanes. Here you see a regular landing far away from civilization on a very nice gravel bar in a dry backslough in the Arctic. "90-degree flown approaches, as you see here, are a must in bush flying, as you get demonstrated later in reality. So practice, practice, and once more practice. You also have to master hand propping your engine. Who has not forgotten to shut off the master in some exciting moments? For understandable safety reasons, I am performing this from the rear, even if you need more muscle power. The Wulik River at the Bering Strait is known for its good Arctic char population and also great graylings. But to have success, you have to be at the eddies behind the rapids. And these are mostly not situated at big gravel bars, but at little bars as you see here. And 150 meters is not much, and so you look to touch down at the first possible spot. A beautiful catch, just right for more than one dinner, accomplished within 45 minutes fishing. On takeoff, always you have to fly out flat, corresponding to the terrain, so you have speed and therefore safety. Sporty short field takeoffs belong to the practice fields and not in everyday bush flying. Here safety is required. I am floating here in 1 meter height across these dunes to land on this beach with its super soft sand. This landing on Unimak Island, the first island of the Aleutians, provided a thrilling meeting. Et voila, 500 kilogram bear just after landing, no 20 meters away. Landing on the coast is always ever a technical challenge, as you see here. 20-degree slope and crosswind, you have to be pretty much alert not to ground loop. Whoop! Now the Cub tips slow onto the sloping sand. Here you see a slight bend 90-degree approach at the Kobuk River, Alaska. To fish for sheefish, I wanted to camp here. I had selected this inviting little gravel bar at the Aniak River on my way from Dillingham to the Yukon River to set up an overnight camp. 120 meters with heavy drift logs at the end made me decide to land a few meters short into the water. Because of the strong deceleration in the water, my landing run was only 65 meters long. At takeoff next morning, having 28 degrees centigrade and no wind, I rotated in the very last moment and again, flying out flat and ground effect to climb out later over the trees with a safe speed. Here you see a landing in nowhere in Canada in the Northwest Territories north of Great Bear Lake on a quite mossy but flat surface. If you look sharp and close, you will notice a slight down nod of the nose at touchdown on the soft surface. To set camp at these picturesque mountain formations, the towers north of Dawson, Canada, I had to master an extreme rough landing on an almost featureless surface. The challenge was to find a usable magistral between these hard-to-see rocks and holes, flying 60 miles an hour in low level. And here it almost got me. At Lake Iliamna, Alaska, I wanted to fish for red salmon and picked this sand beach to land on. The slight dance on touchdown didn't occur by chance. On my selected threshold, I touched down 3 meters too short and hit this little sand step with my right tire. The airplane was pushed 5 to 10 degrees to the left, and in a moment my left tire was over the water. But my fast reaction prevented something worse. Well, finger-sized willow saplings that you shave off with your wingtips, you should really avoid. Scheiße! You always ever land in the bushes.
Kaputt. Wisst ihr? Das haben wir kaputt gemacht. Propellermarsch?
Here you can see what practicing 90-degree approaches are good for. I had a very nice campsite in a bay at one of the islands of the Admiralties, Alaska. So, not to roll into a creek at the end of the 250-meter long landing space, I had to go around this inconspicuous little black stone to touch down just behind the water.
Okay. I am down.
And now the whole approach once more, but this time under increased conditions into the oncoming night. Such things you only can do with a 50-mile slow cab. The landmarks along the coast in reality were harder to see as in this blown-up video. And without having landed several times before, it would have been extremely dangerous. You hop literally from mark to mark. If you do not see the corresponding mark, you have to make immediately a go-around. But to fly lonely in such nice weather into the evening over Bristol Bay, which is notorious for bad weather, these are simply beautiful moments.